Welcome back to the BodyMaitre podcast. I'm your host, Derek, and today we continue our series, How Bad Guys Work. In this season, we explore not how others hurt us, but how the patterns within someone's four bodies consciousness transform them into the person who harms, intentionally or unintentionally. We've explored the betrayer, the manipulator, the gaslighter, the liar, and the emotional vampire. Today, we uncover one of the most misunderstood and deeply rooted archetypes, the cold-hearted person, the one who shuts down emotionally, the one who disconnects, the one who seems unbothered, unmoved, or emotionally unreachable. Most people think cold-hearted means someone who doesn't care, but the truth is, cold-heartedness is almost never about lack of care. It is about emotional shutdown, a protective freeze response formed when caring once led to pain. Cold-heartedness is not an empty heart. It is a guarded heart, a heart that closed because it was overwhelmed, a heart that learned caring was punished, a heart that felt too much for too long without support, a heart that survived by turning numb. Let me share a simple example. Imagine someone who grew up in a home where expressing emotions wasn't safe. If they cried, they were told to stop whining. If they shared their feelings, they were mocked or punished. If they opened their heart, it was rejected. As a child, they learned, feeling is unsafe. Showing emotions gets me hurt. It's safer to shut down. Fast forward into adulthood. Their partner asks, "What's wrong? Can we talk about your feelings?" And they freeze.
Why are you so cold?
Not because they don't feel anything, but because their entire system locks down to avoid emotional danger. They go quiet, they withdraw, they become distant, they look cold-hearted on the outside, but inside, they are terrified of being hurt again. People become cold-hearted for many reasons. Fear of vulnerability, fear of abandonment, fear of betrayal, fear of emotional failure, or years of carrying emotional burdens alone. But beneath all these outward behaviors are much deeper four bodies distortions. So once again, we turn to the BodyMaitre four bodies dowsing charts and ask Spirit and the collective angelic team, what are the common consciousness patterns behind emotionally cold people, and what causes a person to shut down their heart and disconnect from others? First, the spiritual body carries psychic wounds and etheric damage. The spiritual body carries psychic wounds and etheric damage caused by past emotional trauma, harsh criticism, or soul memory injuries. These wounds weaken the person's ability to trust, connect, and feel spiritually safe. When the etheric field is damaged, the heart naturally contracts to avoid further injury. Next, the mental body holds a strong program of abandonment. The fear of being left, rejected, or emotionally dropped makes the person withdraw preemptively. They shut down before someone can hurt them. This creates a mental wall that blocks emotional closeness. Then, the emotional body is numb and blocked to forgiveness. The emotional body becomes numb when it carries too much unprocessed pain. Emotional numbness forms when a person cannot forgive themselves, cannot forgive someone who hurt them, or cannot release old wounds. This block to forgiveness freezes emotional flow, making connection nearly impossible. Finally, the physical body holds stored anger and self-punishment. This anger may not look explosive. It is often silent, internalized, and buried in the muscles and nervous system. This emotional heaviness makes the person shut down further, believing they must hold it all in to stay in control. When we combine these findings, a powerful picture emerges. The spiritual body carries wounds that haven't healed. The mental body fears abandonment. The emotional body is numb and blocked from forgiveness. And the physical body is weighed down by stored anger and self-punishment. These four bodies distortions create an emotional freeze response, a protective shell, a hardened exterior. The cold-hearted person isn't insensitive. They're overloaded. They aren't heartless. Their heart is hiding for survival. They aren't incapable of love. They're afraid that loving will reopen old wounds. If you're watching or listening and you resonate with this pattern, or you've dealt with someone who lives behind an emotional wall, let's take a moment to release these programs. You may speak the following statements out loud or follow in silence with intention. For the spiritual body, spirit, high self, and collective angelic team, I request assistance to heal and clear all psychic wounds and etheric damage. Please restore my spiritual body to safety, integrity, and wholeness. For the mental body, spirit, high self, and collective angelic team, I release abandonment, fears, and the belief that I will be left or rejected. Please bring trust, openness, and mental security into my being. For the emotional body, spirit, high self, and collective angelic team, I release emotional numbness and all blocks to forgiveness. Please restore emotional flow, compassion, and heart-centered clarity. For the physical body, spirit, high self, and collective angelic team, I release stored anger, suppressed tension, and all forms of self-punishment. Please restore calmness, safety, and emotional freedom in my physical body. Take a deep breath. Allow the four bodies to soften and realign. Thank you for joining me in episode 6 of How Bad Guys Work. Today, we explored the cold-hearted person, the spiritual wounds, mental abandonment programs, emotional numbness, and physical anger that create emotional shutdown. In the next episode, we explore another challenging archetype. Episode 7, The Boundary Breaker, Why Some People Ignore Limits and Violate Personal Space. Until then, stay conscious, stay aware, and take care of your four bodies.